Being a 70s child, I've always just loved all things to do with cars, toys, books, motorsport. I guess my Porsche obsession really started when Porsche released the 930 Turbo when I was about 5 or 6 years old. My dad always picked up car magazines for me to look at, and I would often cut out the pictures of Porsches and stick them up on the bedroom wall. I guess I've just been absolutely hooked on Porsches ever since. I've had my 996.2 GT3 for over a year or so now, but I don't think any sort of Porsche nerds like me can really ever have had enough cars. I'm also very lucky to own several cars, including a 991 C4 GTS and the 718 Spider, which for me, alongside the GT3, really sort of represents the perfect GT garage. I've obviously got a do-everything all-weather shopping trolley in the turbocharged PDK 991 and a rare sort of barnstorming, wind-in-your-hair, naturally aspirated manual GT product in the Spider, plus a really raw, modern classic race car in the 996 GT3. I started to use Design 911 many years ago. I've owned quite a few Porsches, and in fact they helped me with a recommission project that I completed on an old 986 Boxster. I'm not that handy with the spanners, so I don't get too involved with the mechanicals, but I have used Design 911 mainly for sort of accessories, car covers, badge replacements, C-Tech battery chargers, random grommets, wipers, bonnet struts, rubber stoppers, and of course the front splitters on the 996 that do go missing from time to time. I do go to quite a few Porsche events. I love the Porsche community. There's so many events in and around London, and the cars and the people are incredible. I'm also helping some good friends with the Porsches by the Lake show in June, and that's already a sellout with over 500 cars, all Porsches attending. It's quite an interesting story about the purchase of my car. It's really pure fate. I picked up an auto car magazine in a doctor's surgery back in 2010 that featured my dream 996.2 GT3 in Guards Red, and that was in their March issue. I saved a copy of that magazine and lusted after one ever since. Then back in April 2021, I was on a track day at Silverstone and saw this car again in the parking area, albeit not on the track that day. I said to a friend, that's the exact spec I would love to own, and I took a few pictures of it that day too. So when the time came to look at buying one, as we exited lockdown in 2022, I saw an advert for a couple of Guards Red 996 GT3s and went to have a look at them. Not realising the car I would eventually buy was that exact car from the Doctor's Surgery Auto Car Mag and my Silverstone track day. So, as I say, pure fate. I'd always sort of considered the 996 to be a massively overlooked and indeed underdog of the 911 range. Many don't realise it is so much more modern engineering plus lighter and faster characteristics than the 993 that preceded it. And it was of course the first of the liquid-cooled cars, so it was unjustly vilified for that. And of course the headlights, which everyone loves to malign. I think that they're coming of age now, and there's a real sort of movement getting behind these cars, which is good to see. I really bought the car because it's not been a garage queen, but used as intended, coupled with the meticulous service and maintenance record, which shows thousands of pounds spent over the years to keep it in tip-top condition. And whilst it's got mid-range mileage on the clock, I don't feel guilty driving it. I've slowly but surely been replacing any perishables as required with OEM parts, such as brake discs and pads all round, a professional wheel refurbishment, and then a full 2-stage professional paint correction, including full detailing treatment inside and out using Titan ceramic coatings. There will be some new tyres put on the car to replace the current Cup 2s with Michelin Pilot Sport 4Ss, and a refreshed Fast Road Geo setup by Centre Gravity later this spring. My favourite upgrades that I've done so far have been the OPC Colchester's fitment of the excellent Porsche Classic PCCM Plus navigation system, and also I had cruise control fitted for those bloody average speed cameras. The car will remain pretty much OEM for all mechanicals, but I've ordered some pretty tricky new bucket seat inserts in a very subtle martini livery, so look out for that. we've made some really great mates through the Porsche community along the way. And last year we did a big group of us drove across Europe, taking in France, Germany and Belgium. The 996 completed 3,000 kilometres in 4 days, absolutely faultlessly. What I would say is, don't be afraid of mileage on the 996 GT3. As long as you buy from a specialist, buy the best car you can afford, then I don't think you can go too far wrong. It is an older car though, so you should expect to have to do a little fettling to get it up to your own standards and expectations. That's where Design 911 comes in. You do need to spend time in the seat to get used to these cars. They're the perfect blend of old and modern 911s in my opinion, and that flat 6 growler and the 8,000 rev per minute maximum are totally intoxicating, so get out there and drive it. I guess my advice for sort of Porsche ownership would really be, don't look after the mileage for the next owner. My advice would be, make some amazing memories with your Porsche of any description.